Wrong selection here. There we go. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. This is Chris and Tammy here coming to you live from Daytona Beach for another, I would say, 6 weeks. And then we're going to fly back to Toronto and our presentation will be back done from Canada. So, folks, we want to welcome you here. Again, good morning, afternoon, or evening, depending on where you are located around the world. And happy Easter. If you're celebrating Easter, Tammy and I intend to have some wonderful time this coming weekend. And Flora from Belgium, great to have you here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And Tammy, why don't we share with the audience here, how did we get introduced to GotBackup?
Yeah, so we've known the owner of GotBackup, the owner of the parent company, GVO, Global Virtual Opportunities, for many, many years. We've been friends, watched the kids grow up, watched the grandkids. Well, at our end anyways, he doesn't have grandkids yet. And we've had 25 plus years of experience in the network marketing space. And Joel has been very successful in the online marketing space. And we watched him grow. He watched us grow. When he launched the GotBackup project, he was actually texting us to see if we were open to learn about it. And of course, we checked it out, just like you're going to see the information today. When we saw this, we said, oh my gosh, it's all about trends. It's all about positioning yourself. It's all about grabbing onto opportunities. And we just said yes. And we've been running ever since. We've been building globally. We've always built globally. So it's been a lot of fun.
And you know, the reason that, again, for us, we were very intrigued is, as Tammy stated, we build globally. And because of that, we have made some friends from all over West Africa, East Africa, South Africa, North America, South America, Asia, South Asia. We've been all over the world. And we know that today's economy has created a bit of a challenge for many people to start anything. And we saw an opportunity where family can be empowered by a global opportunity here, with massive growth potential and success. Because you'll hear a few times, we're going to talk about data as a new oil. Well, storage capability is a big, big deal right now. And we saw an opportunity where it was time to turn your dreams into reality. Looking at these pictures over here, and we share this every single time that we present because it's very significant in our lives. You're looking at this young family here that just kind of showing off this new set of keys. It just bought into a brand new home. What about traveling where you want to, opposed to where you can afford to? That's a really nice concept. Would you agree? What about adding new members of the family? We understand today that just the basic groceries that we never even had a second thought about, now it's a major part of budgeting because of the cost of groceries. So we understand that there's a price tag around that, and people are questioning, can we afford another child? And that should not be a reason for not or having a child, right? It should be desire to have a child and not because of the economy. And here's the last point that's important is retire from the fruit of your labor. We know in the past 5 years that there's been, they call it the big reset. What's happening is a lot of investments that people are counting on today have been reduced significantly. What if you had an opportunity where you can feed into all of that? And this is what we want to share with you here today, that you're watching this information live or later on. I truly believe that we can really help you create a wonderful lifestyle for yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're here to help average people. Chris and I are average people. We just grabbed a hold of opportunity years ago. And obviously a couple years now, we've been building the GotBackup project. And the big question is, what do you want to achieve in your life? Because at the end of the day, this is an opportunity for average people just like us to achieve above average results. And we're here to help you do that.
I totally agree, Tammy. And a little bit about the company, folks. It begins in 1997 from Gatineau, Quebec. And I have a quick video to share with you here. But just before I share the video, I remember when I met Joel in the early days, around 1999 or 2000 or so, 2001, 2 or 3. And I remember renting some space, some server space for a website I was hosting through WordPress. If you know what that means, don't worry about it. It's just a website that people could go to and access things. And he was telling me that they've reached the capacity where they lived in Gatineau, Quebec, with the amount of customers they can acquire. Now they need to move into an area that have more fiber optic. This is like the lines on the ground. So there's more people that can actually come in and use a service. And he moved it into a 10,000 square feet data center, which Tammy and I were there about 2 weeks ago visiting. It's absolutely wonderful. And let me share with you a video to give you an illustration of what happens on the back end here. Let's check this out together.
Hey guys, welcome to the corporate office of GotBackup. Now everybody wants to know, are we super secure? And how do we offer such an amazing service at such a low price? So this is in our tech room. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna take you on a tour of our server room to show you just how secure it is, and we welcome you into the family. So let's go over to the server room. So the first thing I wanna explain to you guys is that we're fully PCI compliant. For physical PCI compliance, what does that mean? It means we're allowed to physically store credit cards in our data center because we're uber secure. So we've passed all the tests for that, and we're legally allowed to store credit cards and your storage. So one of the first requirements for PCI compliance is you have to have 2 coded doors before you get into your server room. We also, as a company, like to have fun, so we call it Area 51. So anyway, I'm gonna code this door with my back here so you guys can't see what the code is. Come in this way. This is a simple inventory room, guys. We build servers here and so forth. And then our second coded door is over here, okay? And so we have a coded door here as well to get into the server room. So here we are in the server room, guys. This is where all the magic happens. So couple of things people ask. Joel, how secure is my data, and could you ever lose our data? So as an example, let's come here. It's impossible to lose your data, and here's why. If you look at this storage array, and we have, hundreds of storage arrays in here, there's 14 hard drives across this storage array. 4 of these hard drives could fail, which statistically never happens, but let's say it did. 4 of these hard drives need to fail before we start to lose some data. But guess what? We're not going to lose any data because this is striped to here. This whole rack of hard drives here is copied here. Just the same here. All these hard drives here are copied here. So there's not a single point of failure relative to your data. There's also no single point of failure in the server room. As an example, there's A power and B power. Every server is plugged into A power. Every server is plugged into B power. Also, relative to cooling of this room, if you come over here, you'll see we have 1, 2, 3, 4 air conditioners in this server room. So the air is never going to be a problem. The other thing as well is we're very, very efficient. If you look up at the ceiling, let's come back over here, you'll see vents up there, and the cold air is strategically placed in front of the servers here, so it sucks in all the cold air, and it goes over into the hot aisle behind this wall here. So very, very efficient server room as well. And finally, if God forbid there was ever a fire in this room, we have here what's called a fire suppression system. What this system does, it's just a bunch of electronics behind here, but we can open it up, okay, is if God forbid there was a fire, and in 25 years there's never been a fire, but it will snuff out all the oxygen in this room. If there's no oxygen, then the fire goes out, right? So we don't use water to destroy the equipment. So that's the basics of the server room. Super, super secure and super redundant relative to your data. So the other aspect to security is we use the exact same security as Amazon, as Google, as all the big players, Microsoft. It's patented security, it's military grade, 256-bit encryption security. So your stuff is very secure.
So, folks, it's just a segment again to give you an idea of how secure it is and what you have in the background. And again, I would just want to say welcome here to Fulera again, and Andres and Bill. Great to have you here. So, folks, back to the presentation here. There is 2 global trends that are important to consider. The fact is, I know as an investor, I'm also an equity investor, and for me, I always look for indicators, signs that tells me that it's a good place to invest time. So, Tammy, why don't we start with the very first global trends when it comes to our services?
Yeah, so you can see here there's almost 15 billion smartphones devices around the world. And what are people doing? Everything on their devices. We're living in a paperless world today. So everything's done there, photos, videos, documents, everybody is storing data, which means huge opportunity for you guys and of course ourselves.
I totally agree, Tammy. And looking at even a bit of an older slide here, and the reason why I'm keeping this slide is because you can see the trend from 2011 to 2023, folks. It went from 6% to 60%. That is 10 times. This is pretty amazing. Let's look at a slide that's a bit more up to date. The size of cloud storage market worldwide from 2022 to 2030, folks. This is revenues, 90 billion in 2022, and it moved up to close. They're predicting to be close, and in fact, I think it will pass that amount. To be honest with you, close to $500 billion in 2030. These are strong indicators that is a good place to invest time and money. And you'll see that our price point is so low that it's very affordable. Let's talk about one of the reasons for that, which has to do with our cell addiction.
Yeah. I mean, they say cell addiction, but everything is available on our devices. Chris and I, we have a couple properties. We're in Daytona Beach, Florida right now till the end of May. And we have a property in Toronto that we keep an eye on through, we just hop on our phone, hop on an app. We use this for our alarm clocks. Everybody uses YouTube. I mean, we go online for absolutely everything. So saying that, if I leave my phone at home and I head out the door, I'm going to go back and get my phone because it's something that we use on a regular basis, especially being in business today.
I totally agree, Tammy. And folks, and because of this addiction, and again, I don't want to make that as a negative here, because we're so in tune with using our devices, we constantly store data every single day, in some cases every minute. And folks, it's amazing where 45% of cell phone users have accidentally damaged their cell phones and lost their data. Think about it. If you lose a device that has everything you've been taking into for decades, could you imagine the damage this could cause? Right? This is a piece of your soul you can never get back. So backing up your stuff is critical. It's not an option. It's necessary. 5,700 screens are cracked every hour. Laptops, cell phones stolen every 43 seconds.
Yeah, and I've got friends. When I connect with some of my friends, I was blown away that one of my very best friends, childhood friends, chatting with her, she got married about 8 years ago and she lost her wedding pictures. Like that's devastating. I mean, it's devastating when you lose things. So I was telling her how critical it is in today's world to have a backup. You need backup, period. and look at these messages here. I mean, we've all seen them, right? As we start increasing things on our devices. And they're annoying, to be honest with you. Actually, when Joel connected with us, we were seeing some of this stuff and we're like, oh my gosh, thank you, Joel, for coming into our lives, because, we get so much more value with GotBackup than any other service we've ever used.
That's an understatement. And folks, the second trend we want to talk about here is making more money. We understand that the world is changing and we're changing into a digital world. And for that reason, you got 42% of Americans have side businesses, 62% of Gen Z. This is our kids, right? Also have side businesses. And what about the rest of the world, folks? This is what's going on. That's what we want to talk to you about. See, leverage these global trends with GotBackup. It's absolutely amazing and very, very simple. Folks, there's a lot of excitement going on right now and a lot of things that are happening. So let's talk about our product, Tammy.
Absolutely. So you get 6 terabytes of data storage. When I heard that, I was blown away. 6 terabytes for $10. I mean, nobody offers that. And you have 6 separate accounts. In your account, you can add 5 additional members, and each one of them has their own access to go into their storage, and you can even give them a specific amount. You can choose how much storage that they could use, unlimited devices. When I saw that, I'm like, oh my gosh, every single family household needs to know about this. And of course, it's a home-based business that pays you, and everybody's looking to make money today. Everybody.
I agree, Tammy. And folks, our competitors, what about iCloud and Dropbox and Google Drive? And we're not saying we're better than them at all, because between you and I, they all have some benefits for sure. But folks, this is the only cloud storage that will pay you. But beside that, they're all within the same price range, but they give you 2 terabytes. GotBackup is giving you 6 terabytes, folks. This is a huge, huge asset. You can pay monthly or you can pay yearly. I prefer yearly because it saves 2 months and you pay one time a year instead of every month having to ding your credit card with a payment. I much prefer going 1 year. Right? And it's cheaper, of course. It turns out to be around $8 and change if you pay for the year instead of $9.97. It's really cool. Now, here are our competitors. Again, iCloud, Dropbox, Google Drive. Again, don't quote me on the exact amount because it might change. But the point we want to bring out here is it is more expensive in some cases, looking at Dropbox, quite a bit. Even Google, iCloud, right? And we're just below $100. It's unbeatable value. And folks, you get a whole lot more. And we'll cover that in a minute here, that you're not even just getting the cloud storage, but you're getting also marketing tools. So Tammy, let's summarize what we have here as a product.
Yeah, so you get 6 terabytes of storage, $9.97 a month. That includes up to 6 people on the account, and any device. And of course, you got a chance to see, well, some of you did. If you didn't, make sure you get back to the person. But just a little bit about the security and how the setup is. What's really important is you got a 30-day money back guarantee. It's such a no-brainer. I don't know anybody who would get their devices set up, which Chris is going to show you how simple it is. And you can leverage 6 terabytes, add members. I don't know anybody who would want to go back to 2 terabytes for the same price. And it's such a great value.
And the backup is constantly improving, folks. Let us show you how simple it is to install this on your cell phone, either that it is an Android phone or an Apple phone. Let's check this out.
This is a quick walkthrough of how to install your GotBackup app onto your mobile device. In this case, I'm using the Android Galaxy, but the process is the same also on an iPhone. So to download your app, there's 2 ways to do this. You can either come to the Play Store. On an iPhone, it's called just the App Store, and just search for GotBackup. And there it is. Or we could come to our members area and go to use this tool, and then you will see it here on your dashboard. So again, I'm using my Android device. So I'm going to go ahead and click this, and it's going to take me to my Google Play Store. If you're on an iPhone, it will take you to your App Store on your iPhone device. So I'm going to go ahead and install that. Awesome. I'm going to go ahead and open it. It's going to ask you to log into your account. Go ahead and allow all your notifications so it could let you know that everything's being uploaded properly, and go ahead and put in your unique ID. Once logged in, you will be asked to let GotBackup access your photos and videos on your mobile device. Select Allow. Without having to do anything, an Android upload folder was automatically created for me. Neat! If you are on an iPhone, the folder will be called iPhone Upload. Now, depending on how many photos and videos is on your device, your first backup might take some time. So it is highly recommended that your device is on a charger and is connected to Wi-Fi. It is a good idea to start your first backup in the evening and keep your GotBackup app open and let it back up overnight. One more thing I'd like to point out. If I tap on these 3 little lines on the top left corner and tap on Settings, you will see these 3 boxes under Monitor are automatically checked. Auto Upload will automatically upload all future photos and videos taken on your device to your GotBackup cloud. Camera Roll Upload will back up all existing photos and videos that are stored on your device to your GotBackup cloud. And Upload Only on Wi-Fi will only back up your data while connected to Wi-Fi. If you have an unlimited data plan, you can uncheck this. So if I come to my gallery, I'm going to have a slew of pictures from over the years. This is actually Joel's phone, so if I come to my albums, I have almost 1,400 pictures. Alright, so if I come to my app, come back to my menu and click Transfers, you're going to see all my pictures now are uploading. Since this might be a large upload at first and I have a low battery, it's highly recommended that you plug into a power source. So I'm going to do that right now. Alright, now that's finished. We can now see that our Android upload has all been categorized by what year these photos were taken. These were taken in 2021. And this was just recently. So that's pretty much it. Pretty easy, pretty straightforward.
And that's what I like about it, folks. It is so easy. And there's another app. If you want to back up your computer, you install this app on your computer and it's done. And at the end, I will show you exactly where you can get all of this. Folks, at the end of the day, this is the only cloud storage that pays you. When someone comes around and he says, well, why should I consider GotBackup opposed to the other the other cloud storage? Well, one is we have 3 times the space, but 2 is we also get paid. We can make money by using a service that everyone needs. So Tammy, let's summarize on how we make money with GotBackup.
Yeah, so we're going to go through the 3 highlighted segments just to show you the basic fundamentals on how to build this. And customer acquisition bonus, CAB, that is when somebody, you send them a link. Chris is going to show you how simple it is. You send them a link, they decide they're going to get started, they click on, they can join monthly or they can do it yearly. So if they decide to do it monthly, you're going to get 200% up front. So let's round it off, $10, right? So you're going to get $20, 200%. And then if they decide to go yearly, round it off, $100, 50%, $50. This is massive, you guys, each person. And then 25% if they decide to order some marketing stuff, VIP package. And the bottom part, this is for customers. So, there's going to be people that you're going to talk to that don't want to do business. Maybe they're retired and they have enough money. Not too many people are in that category, but 25% on personally signing somebody up as a customer. So let's share a couple examples.
Tammy, just before we get on that, I just wanted to mention, folks, that the new feature offers subscriptions. See, there's a lot of programs that are going to be added over time, and there's one that's really cool to help people build their business. You get compensated for that also. Just started mentioning. So back to you, Tammy. Let's look at this.
Yeah. So an example, if you signed up 20 people, which is not hard, you guys, because it's a $10 a month business, right? So 200%. So $20 times 20 people, $400 in commission. And you're not limited to the amount of people you can invite. We're at the beginning of something that's going to explode. Nobody knows about us yet, which is super exciting. So this is the time to position yourself. And if you had 20 customers, 25%, $2.50 times 20 people, that's $50 ongoing monthly. And I don't know about you, but everybody I know loves to have residual income coming in after the work you've already done.
I totally agree, Tammy. And again, welcoming you, and I'm great to have you here. And folks, you need to understand here, folks, that every time someone comes in and pay for the year, and it's not exactly $50, it's $49 and change, but we're just running it off so it's easier to process. This is a $50 pop every time someone comes in. So it's pretty generous. Now that's on the front end. That's why the affiliate marketers love this program, because there's a lot of cash up front, especially if they have a big list. Now here's the thing, folks. Let's talk about the back end. This is as you build your business, the network that's being built. It's called cycle earnings. And to understand the power of the cycle earnings, let's just understand the process of what we mean about team commission. It's basically a 2-team tree. There's a left team and a right team. And when you see indirect, that's someone that you don't know of, or at least you did not sponsor personally. It's someone above you or someone below you. For example, you can see here you're sponsored a direct on the right-hand side, of the indirect on the right side of your business. Well, the indirect does not really know who the direct person is. I don't have any names right now, so I'm calling direct, indirect. So to identify what I'm talking about here, but that's the power of a 2-team tree. So let's expand on that. So when do we talk about cycle bonus? Well, cycle bonus occurs when there are 6 people in the business. Let me expand. So there's 2 tier 1 and tier 2. I'll come back to that a little bit later, because based on your rank and based on a company's profitability, the tier 1 and tier 2 will vary. But tier 2 is really cool because as a platinum, you're doubling. And I'll tell you a little bit about that later on. But here are the steps. Number one is you need to activate. Just like any of the services, digital services like Netflix, Amazon Prime, Disney Plus, whatever, all of these are membership that you're paying monthly. Okay, same thing here. And when people back up their stuff, they don't want to part with it because their stuff is backed up. That's why it's important they back up their stuff. Number 2 is enroll 2 people, one on the right team, one on the left team. That's step number 2. And then step number 3, to cycle or earning, you need 6 people. Either you bring in the 6 people or the 6 people come in from the combined effort of your 2 and the 2 that brought in a few more, or maybe spillover, like talked about someone above you sharing the same leg. The combined effort of all that will increase the amount of people paying their $10 a month. And every time the company recognizes there is 6 people in a ratio of 4 to 2, what I mean by that, there's 4 people on one side and 2 on the other, it generates a cycle. So just do the math. If you have, 1,000 members on one side and 1,500 members on the other side, just do the math. So this is how many cycles it's going to generate. So my question to you is, how many cycles do you want on a monthly basis? That's why we constantly do these presentations to show people what's going on. Again, just to remind you that the amount is paid per cycle will vary on the company's profitability and your rank. So we'll expand on that a little bit later. Here's something very powerful called a cycle match. The company added this because they say, hey, listen, if you sponsor 1 person, 2 people, 10 people, 100 people, some people have sponsored a whole lot more than that. Well, if you help these people understand the process that we just talked about with the binary cycle, you have the ability to earn a matching cycle. What I mean by that, if let's say you sponsored me or Tammy or anyone here, and let's say I cycle 100 times. Well, you had 25% as a sapphire. I'll come back to the ranks in a moment, but you earn 25 cycles. So if cycle is worth X, that is 25 times. You can earn up to $1,000. Folks, this is very, very powerful. So let's say that you sponsor someone that's cycling 700 times. You understand your portion could be more than 1,000, but for you to earn more, you need to help another person becoming a copper. And I'll explain that to you in a moment here. So now you're at 50%, and this is how this grows. Look at the ladder of possibilities, folks, from $1,000 to $20,000 for every person you bring in. I'm not saying that's what you're going to earn. What I'm saying is this is the possibility if someone takes that seriously. It's extremely powerful compensation plan as this grows. And there's 4 other bonuses that are out there: generation bonus, dynamic compression bonus, rank bonus, pool leadership bonus. These are all bonuses that will benefit you as you build your business. Tammy, let's talk about the simple system we have here.
Yeah, so it's super simple. And that's one thing that Chris and I learned over many, many years of building this industry is simplicity. The more simple you make it, the more duplicatable your business becomes. And I know because we've built massive over the years. So once you sign up, the first goal is to go get 2 people, which is very simple. It's a $10 item. You place 1 on the left team and 1 on the right team. Chris showed you the 2-team structure. And that will make you a copper. Chris will explain all that. And then you go in again and you do the same thing. You go get 2 more, 1 on the left, 1 on the right, and duplicate that with the 4 people that you brought in. Continue bringing left and right and watch your organization explode.
I totally agree, Tammy. How do we get started?
$20 annual fee to be in business. Oh my God, I come from a traditional business. For me, that was like, oh my gosh, this is so easy. Plus, you decide. You either pay monthly or you pay yearly. We highlighted yearly because most people decide to come in yearly. It's just simple, right? You don't have these monthly dings on your card. Yeah, it's as simple as that, you guys.
I totally agree. And we're in 156 countries. What do I mean by this, folks? Is we have users from all these markets that decided to back up their stuff on the GotBackup cloud. This is super, super powerful. And we're still growing. Remember, we have 196 countries in the world, folks. We're about to reach the entire planet. This is very powerful. Wait till we get in momentum. Dropbox took them 7 years to get into momentum, folks. We've only been around with a little over 2 years or around that. So understand, folks, that there's a lot of space for growth, massive space. And one thing is recognition and achievements. BBs die for it. Adults die for it. And here's how this works. Now, Earlier, we talked about the different ranks. Okay. So as a bronze, that means that you sponsored one person. Okay. As a copper, this is your building block. If you're asking, okay, what do I need to do to build my business? Tammy talked about the duplication process earlier. This is it here. Copper. Copper means you have one person on your left team, one person on your right team. If every person that comes in interested to earn an income and got backup will just follow this process of reaching one person on your right team, another person on their left team, and from that point on, they become a copper, you become a copper. As a silver, that means that your team's starting to duplicate. Someone that you've brought in, or from someone that you've brought in, hit copper. Then you're a silver. You become a gold when you sponsored 5 people into the business, and 3 out of those are duplicating. They became copper. It doesn't have to be a personal of yours. It could be coming from one of your personals, right? And then there's a total of 25 people on your team. Boom. Now you start earning the compression bonus that we talked about earlier, right? So that was the number 4. Every time it sees a 10, even if you didn't sponsor them, even if there's a big leg on one side and nothing on the other, you can get paid on the big leg. It's 2.5% on every 10. It may not seem like a lot, but when it compounds, folks, again, think of Dropbox has over 700 million users, folks. As a platinum, this is a really important rank because now you're moving from tier 1 to tier 2. Remember I was talking about the cycles? Well, you're more than doubling for the same amount of work now. As a sapphire, you're helping another person becoming copper. It's really not that hard. And the fact is now you start earning a matching cycle on every person you bring in. And as you move up in rank, folks, it's just like it's like a flower that opens up. The compensation plan gives you more as you're doing the little step by helping others duplicating their business. Well, let's talk about the summary, Tammy, on the support that the people provide. That again, people don't realize for the $9.97 what they get.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. When we saw this, we're like, oh my gosh, Joel, he gives so much value. I've never met anybody who gives so much. You've got a personalized referral links, which Chris is going to briefly share with you, personalized landing page. You have an email marketing system that's built in for you. We just, with a click of a button, after you create your email, click of a button, it's going out to your database, which is phenomenal. Reminding them of a presentation or a training. You've got marketing tools. They're always adding stuff, regular online presentations, just like you're seeing today. And the company has a presentation on Wednesday night. And there's actually presentations going on everywhere around the world, different languages, super exciting, team trainings. Everything is there for you to succeed. You just need to sign up and show up.
I totally agree, Tammy. Folks, this is a product that everyone needs in a business that everyone can afford. This is such an important step here, folks. And the fact here, if you were introduced by someone else, if you go to GotBackupLive.com, you can actually sign up there. But I do recommend to get back with the person who invited you here and let him know, hey, listen, I want to get started with this. Now, here's something that I want to share very briefly with you here, folks. Let me just remove that slide over here and let me just kind of share my screen. When you sign up, this is what your back office look like. I'm going to look on the right here because this is my screen. You can see your rank is here. If you need support, folks, you click on that and they're not going to send you an email. You need to come back in and look at the response with the tickets and everything else. And tomorrow morning, we're doing a training on these things, okay, and how you get paid, how you set your payments. So you don't want to miss the training on Saturday. And from there, on the left-hand side, there's just a few things I want to share with you. If you look at use this tool, you know, we talked about the software to install. Well, this is for your computers and this is for your phone. Between you and I, you don't really need to get those apps from the back office. You just go to your Play Store or your Apple Store. Yeah, that's what it's called. And then from there, just search for GotBackup. And then you install it, you log in, and then you let the software do the work for you, just like you saw in the video. Over here, it's very straightforward, same thing. You install the software, and it backs up everything. And there's improvements on the cloud that's added on right now to access all this data. If you back up 3 computers, you can access data from these 3 computers on that one computer. It's really cool. We'll talk about that on Saturday. Now, the other thing that's really important here is let's see here. If you go under reseller tools. Okay. Right now I click on to use this tool. This is what you see here. The reseller tool, it's what this is over here. This is really important because if you want to share something, this business with someone else or the cloud with someone else, there's a few options here. If someone has no idea what this is all about, send them this link. Okay, you use your link here and you send that to your prospect, and you'll see that in your back office when you click on this button here, reseller tools. Okay, then it'll end up into your list. And then we touched on that last Saturday on how we manipulate this list and letting people know what's coming next. Over here, if someone wants to sign up right now, I'm ready to start. Don't send them a video, just get them that link. And at this point, they're ready to start on the spot. It's really straightforward. And they can turn around and get on the page, put their credit card information or pay to crypto, bada boom, bada bing, it's done. If you want to do some ads on Facebook, some of you might be savvy with that. You can use these links. The moment they click on their ad, at this point, you put their name and email and they'll end up on your list. And this one is really cool because this here is someone is skeptical. It gives them 7 days to try the service for free without putting a credit card information. They'll have access to 6 terabytes worth their cell phones and their computer, and it's really, really nice. After 7 days, there's an option for you to buy some emails or do them yourself to say, hey, guys, you want to activate and blah, blah, blah. So it's all there. Last thing I want to share with you here is when you click on, for example, auto login, or you can just type in on the address bar here, Google GBU Cloud. It'll take you here. Obviously, if you do it the first time, it's going to ask you to put your ID and password. And what's happening is these are all my computers backed up on the cloud. And then from there, and this is coming very, very soon. Right now, you're going to see what these two here. You're not going to see that button at the moment. That's a feature coming in. The reason why I see it is so I can show you guys. You click on that, and it will show you all the details that are on my computer here, right? Everything that's been backed up is sitting here. Really cool. If I backed up my cell phone, which I highly recommend for you to do, then at this point, let's go back to mobile backup. Okay. These are all my mobiles. Okay. There's an iPad mini here and an iPhone here. And this is all backed up. Just to show you how it's organized. You can see your 2025, 2024. You can see that's the entire year from January to December. If I go back to 2025, obviously we're not in May yet. So I have January, February, March, and April. Okay, we're mid-April. Everything that I take is over here. Nice and simple, folks. And here's something really, really cool. This is to collaborate and share. You can actually drag some files in here and it will be transferred right away to your cloud. And you can collaborate and share with people. So you can turn around and click in here and look at, let's click on GotBackup. And let's say here, let's say I have here some files. Let's say I have, anything. I'm just looking, share some files. Okay, so if I want to share this over here, I can click here. I can give you a link and share that with everybody. It is so simple, folks. It is an absolute amazing opportunity with so many options that are offered to you. 2 things. Number 1, make sure you install the software on your phone and on your computer to back up your stuff on the cloud. Number 2, go get 2 people. You start duplicating this, folks. This is how we build a network. Tammy, as we end, any last words?
Jump in because we're running with this, and data storage is the new oil. So yeah, it's all about jumping in. It's all about making a decision and just running with it.
Good, wonderful. Laura, thank you for the feedback. Thank you, everybody, for contributing. Really appreciate your feedback. Remember, Saturday, 10 o'clock Eastern time, we're going to be a training on the back office on how to set your payment to receive your income that you earn. We got backup and a few other things. And also, we're going to open it live for some questions that you'll be able to comment in there, and we'll answer them in real time. Okay, so for those of you celebrating
press the like button too. If you enjoyed today's presentation, just click on the like button. That would be awesome.
Yeah, totally agree with that. And so have a happy Easter if you're celebrating Easter, folks. And absolutely love you all. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you. Have yourself a wonderful rest of your weekend.
Have an amazing holiday weekend.
Bye-bye now.